Hello everyone and welcome back to Car Venus 14. Now today we are going to be talking about a character that will be coming to us in apparently patch 1.7, which is the next patch. And I know we only just got patch 1.6, but hey, the information's out there, I may as well get everyone excited, shouldn't I? So yeah, today we're going to be talking about a character called Yoimiya. Now, Yoimiya is known in the Genshin Impact community as the mixture between Hu Tao and Ganyu. As for why, well, you're going to find out in this video. She's also basically the 5-star version of Amber, which will unfortunately mean for any Amber stands out there, your waifu may get a bit overshadowed, sorry, not overshowered, overshadowed by our new pyro waifu here called Yoimiya. Now, anyway, we'll talk about Yoimiya's background first. So, Yoimiya, her full name is Yoimiya Naganohara, or technically in Inazuma, she will be called Naganohara Yoimiya because everything in Japan is last name first and then first name last, if that makes sense. So, yeah, her name in Inazuma will be Naganohara Yoimiya. But her name is Yoimiya. Basically, that's all we need to know. She's a 5-star rarity. Rarity. There we go. I made this last night when I was quite sleepy because I saw the news about her come out and I was like, yo, I have to make a video on her. So here we are. Now, she's a 5-star rarity, meaning she is a 5-star character. She's the pyro element and she's also a bow user. So she's a 5-star pyro bow user. Now, what's her job? She is actually the owner of Naganohara Fireworks. Fireworks, there we go. She's the owner of Naganohara Fireworks. Now, her surname is Naganohara, so I thought that obviously her being the owner of Naganohara Fireworks, her name might be Naganohara Yoimiya. So because obviously maybe descendant of her family or something, maybe she's the owner of her great grandfather's fireworks company or something. So yeah. She's basically responsible for Inazuma's fireworks. So all the fireworks shows, she's basically responsible for that. Which is quite a high priority in Inazuma, especially when it comes to celebrations. Now, if you guys want to look at her character stats, here they are. So you've got all of them. And the materials I have listed down here. Now, her ascension stat is critical rate. So basically, the more you ascend her up, she will scale up with critical rate, meaning she's definitely intended to be a DPS kind of character, you can tell already. Now, in terms of materials, here we have the pyro gemstones dropped by the pyro, what's it called? The pyro Regisvine. And we've got this material here. Now, I should probably point out, all the information in this video was thanks to Honey Hunters. So if you guys want to go check out, you want to check out any, information that's soon to come into Genshin Impact, then I'll definitely put a link in the description for Yoimiya's full character profile, basically. Anyway, there's this, which is actually, even Honey Hunters does not have the name of what this is. So these two items here are actually unknown. So Honey Hunters does not have the name for this or this, hence why I wasn't able to get any information. In fact, I actually looked on the internet to try and find any information on these two, but I couldn't find anything. So yeah, now what I did find out though was that you see this cube thing, the pyro cube. This is actually reminds me of what would be dropped from a hypostasis, because pyro and a cube in the middle. So yeah, and apparently the community also agrees with me, saying that this is a drop from a pyro hypostasis. Now, as of right now in patch 1.6, there isn't a pyro hypostasis in the game, so that could probably mean that maybe in the next patch there could be a pyro hypostasis world boss. I don't know, but yeah, that could the chances of there being a pyro hypostasis are quite likely if this is a drop. So yeah. And the way character materials are usually formed or worked out is it's usually the gemstone of their element. So in this case, Yoimiya is a pyro character, so the pyro gemstone would work. Then it would be the world boss, which corresponds to that character's element. So because Yoimiya is pyro, her world boss material would either have to be the pyro Regisvine or another pyro world boss. So because the pyro Regisvine doesn't drop this, it has to be another pyro world boss that's coming. Now, as for what this plant over here is, now this third thing over here is usually the local specialty of the character's region. So the Mondstadians will have Mondstadt-related local specialties. The Liyueans will have Liyue related local specialties. So the Inazumans will have Inazuman-related local specialties. So I believe this plant will actually become available to us in patch 1.7. Does that mean Inazuma's coming patch 1.7? Again, I don't know. I can't really confirm anything. And for those of you guys that do want to, keep your ears out of, content leaks, I'll try and refrain from saying anything like that. And then the final one here is Samachel Scrolls. So, yeah, that's basically it for her character statistics. Now, moving on to her attack talents. So here we have the actual damage scaling for her attack talents. So if you want to upgrade her attack talents, this is the kind of numbers that you will be seeing. Now, her normal attack is 5 shots, but as you can see here, she actually hits 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times. Yeah, I was right. So yeah, 7 times. So she'll hit for 7 times, but she's got a 5-hit combo, if that makes sense. So she shoots 7 arrows, but her combo is 5-hit. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, now if you didn't know, her charge shot is obviously you get the vision, you get the aim shot, right? Except it's a bit like Ganyu's. So you've got level 1 charge shot and a level 2 charge shot. So a level 1 charge shot is an aimed pyro shot, a bit like Amber's, obviously. Well, it is basically Amber's, but her level 2 charge shot is actually an aimed pyro shot with homing arrows. So basically, she shoots out homing arrows along with her aim shot, and she can have up to a maximum of 3 of these homing arrows, and it depends on the time that you spend charging her pyro shot. So the longer that you actually stay there holding the aim shot, the more homing arrows that Yoimiya will actually spawn and fire off. So yeah. Now, moving on to her elemental skill. Her elemental skill is called Take Our Fire Dance. Now, this basically is like Hu Tao's elemental skill, where she turns all of her attacks into pyro. Now, this is her normal attacks, by the way. So her normal attacks before would just do physical damage. Now, in this form, Take Our Fire Dance, they'll do pyro damage. Now, there is a drawback to using this form, however. Level 2 charge shots will not generate homing attacks. So when you're in Take a Fire Dance, her level 2 charge shot will not actually generate any homing attacks. So yeah, they're not going to generate any homing attacks. I don't believe she actually gains a damage bonus during, using her charge shot. So it's a little bit odd how you want to build her. You can either build her as a charge shot DPS, or a bit like Ganyu, or you could build her like a physical DPS, a bit like Fischl. So yeah, you can either build her. Well, technically, you can either build her a charge shot DPS like Ganyu, a pyro DPS like Hu Tao, or a physical DPS like Fischl. So, yeah, there's 3 ways you can build her so far, from the way I perceive her actual kit. And this is the scaling when you level up her elemental skills talents, which actually isn't that bad of a scale, in all honesty. Level 10, even level 8 is actually looking pretty good. It lasts for 10 seconds, as you can see, and the cooldown is 20 seconds, so it is quite long. Now, her elemental burst is called Ryukin Saxifrage. Now, what this basically does is, Yoimiya's animation, by the way, for this skill is actually really, really flashy. I will definitely put a link in the description for any of you guys that want to see Yoimiya's actual combat and playstyle. So, yeah, I'll definitely put a link in the description for that. But basically, Yoimiya jumps up, and she basically gets a load of fireworks next to her, and shoots down on the ground in a huge pyro AoE explosion, and anyone that's caught within the explosion will be marked with an Aurous Blaze. Now, what is an Aurous Blaze exactly? Well, if anyone is marked by an Aurous Blaze, your other characters, except Yoimiya, so Yoimiya cannot hit these opponents if they have Aurous Blaze. I mean, you can, but it won't trigger the effect. So anyone else that hits the opponents marked by Aurous Blaze will create an explosion. So basically, what you want to do is, you want to use Yoimiya's ultimate, switch out, and then hit the characters with Aurous Blaze. Now, it also says here that it can spread. So if you hit an opponent with Aurous Blaze and it explodes, anyone nearby the explosion, I mean any enemies near the explosion, the effect will spread off and bounce off basically and create a ricochet effect. And obviously that effect can spread. So it looks like with this you can also use Yoimiya as a support if you want. I think that's what this may mean. So it looks like there's 4 ways you can actually build Yoimiya. Charge shot DPS, pyro DPS, physical DPS, or a support. So, you know, her kit so far is very, very versatile. So, yeah, of course, 4 different ways for building a character is very, very versatile. But then again, that does mean that she won't specialize in one thing. But if I was to wager what the best way to build her would be, I'm presuming it would be a... It would either be a pyro DPS or a charge shot DPS. Because of the homing attacks for the charge shot and because of her damage scaling for the pyro DPS, it may be quite good. But then again, the cooldown is quite long. So again, that may not be quite useful. So you got 10 seconds of doing pyro damage and then 10 seconds of doing physical damage. So 10 seconds of doing no damage, basically. So yeah. And this is her ultimate scaling. So the skill damage right here, the initial skill damage... the Aurous Blaze explosion damage, so to be fair, the explosion damage is quite a lot. It lasts for 10 seconds, so that means the Aurous Blaze will last for 10 seconds. It's got another 20-second cooldown, and the energy cost is 80, so it looks like you do want to get some other Pyro characters in Yoimiya's team, which will be good for the Elemental Resonance for Pyro, which just gives you a 25% attack increase. Which is, again, going to benefit Yoimiya's Pyro DPS and Charge Shot DPS even more. Or you could just build a lot of energy recharge on Yoimiya, but then again, that may not be quite good unless you're building her for a support, because it looks like you can use her kit that way as well. Now, her talent upgrade materials. So these are the books that you're going to need to upgrade her talents, which, of course, the reason I've got this picture here is because, again, Honey Hunters does not have any information on this, and I couldn't find any other information on what this book could be. So, yeah, as of right now, there's no current information on what type of talent book this will be called. So, if any of you guys do have information on this, or these 2 materials, definitely put it in the description below, and I will pin them, provided, if more people pin them, then I'm just going to have to choose one. So, yeah. Samachel books. So she's going to require Samachel books. Sorry, I should probably write the scrolls. So you know the scrolls that the Samachels scrolls that the Samachels drop. Yeah, you're going to need those to level up her talents. The reason being is obviously because she ascends with the scrolls. So the talent ascension material, the mobs material, so the enemies material will always be the same on the character ascension and the talent ascension. And you're also going to need Azdaha's horns if you want to level Yoimiya from level 6 and above. And if you want to level 10 Yoimiya, which is, I'm presuming, what most people will be doing because she's mainly a DPS, you're going to want a crown as well. Well, 3 Crown of Insights if you're going for a full 10-10-10. But, you know. Yeah, now moving on to Yoimiya's passives. So her first passive is called Blazing Match. When Yoimiya crafts furnishings, so these are like, you know the housing systems furnishings, so the ornaments, any statues, no, not statues, sorry. I think this is just like in-house. So, you know when you go into your mansion and you place the furnishings inside your mansion, it's just indoor furnishings, not outdoor furnishings. So I believe it's just indoor furnishings. There's a 100% chance that she'll refund a portion of the material. So basically, when Yoimiya crafts furnishings, indoor furnishings, she's always going to refund a certain percentage of the materials used, which is really, really good, because getting some of those materials, like the sand bearer woods or the tree wood that the Sunnisetters and apples grow on, they're really hard to come by. So, yeah. This is definitely going to be really useful. Now, her second passive is called Tricks of the Troublemaker. When she uses her elemental skill, which is Take Her Fire Dance, when she turns all of her attacks into pyro, her normal attacks, with her normal attacks, her pyro damage increases by 2% for 3 seconds. So, basically, when she normal attacks an enemy in her elemental skill form, her Take a Fire Dance, so when she's doing pyro damage with her normal attacks, her pyro damage will increase by 2% for 3 seconds. This is only when she's normal attacking, by the way, so not when she uses her elemental burst in her elemental skill form, her charge shot in her elemental skill form, just her normal attacks. And this can stack 10 times. So if you do 10 shots very quickly within... obviously, if you do one shot within 3 seconds and keep doing that 10 times, you'll basically gain 20% stacks, right, for the remaining amount of time left. So that's pretty powerful. 20% pyro damage increase for a character that basically only needs to do 10 attacks, which she can do really quickly, because her main combo is just 7 hits. You just need to do another 3 after that. That's going to be pretty good on her. Now, her third and final passive is called Summer Scorch. After using her elemental burst, all party members will gain a 10% attack bonus, and this is increased by 1% depending on however many Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks are available. So what this basically means is, initially, when Yoimiya uses her elemental burst, everyone will gain a 10% attack bonus. But her multiplier is she will increase this attack bonus by 1% depending on however many Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks are available. So if you can get the maximum 10 stacks off, then that will mean instead of 20%, you'll gain another 10, instead of gaining 10%, sorry, you'll gain another 10% here, which means 10 and 10 make 20. So 20% attack bonus, which again can be really, really good. Not just for Yoimiya, well, it says after using her burst, it says all party members, so I'm presuming it includes her, but then again, this could mean that everyone, including Yoimiya, or everyone excluding Yoimiya. So, again, this may help with her support role. So, this really does go to show that Yoimiya is a very versatile character. Again, physical DPS, pyro DPS, charge shot DPS, or a support. So she's very, very versatile with the way you can actually build her. And if you go into one role than the other, it doesn't really look like that you're going to be losing out on a lot of damage, or maybe. Again, her skill is way too versatile, and her scaling is really good, that I can't really tell if she's going to be bad in one role or good in the other role. I think she's made to be a DPS mainly, but her secondary is like an all-rounder, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Now, moving on to her constellations. Again, this is more of like a, more of like a pay-to-win or a dolphin. So if you're free to play, but you're lucky enough to get her constellations, then again, these constellations could be quite useful. So her first constellation is called Agate Ryukin. Now, Aurus Blaze's duration is increased by 4 seconds. So what this means is Aurus Blaze. So if you guys remember back to the elemental skill, Aurus Blaze is the the mark that she puts down on enemies, and if a person other than Yoimiya hits the Aurus Blaze marked enemy, it will spread. So, and it will also create an explosion, then spread, sorry. So what this means is, before, Aurus Blaze would last for how long? Well, the duration here says 10 seconds, so it's going to last for an extra 4 seconds, so 14 seconds, I'm presuming. When a champion is defeated with Aurus Blaze, her attack is increased by 20% for 20 seconds. So what this means is, if you basically, when Aurus Blaze is out and a champion other than Yoimiya dies, her attack, Yoimiya's attack will be increased by 20% for 20 seconds. So let's say I use Yoimiya's Aurus Blaze, and I switch over to the Traveler, but the Traveler dies after, hitting an opponent with Aurus Blaze, and I switch back to Yoimiya. Her attack is increased by 20% for 20 seconds, which is really, really powerful. Again, playing into her DPS role. So, this doesn't mean you can actually actively go out and start killing your characters, like basically start suiciding your characters, obviously, because that's not good. I do not promote suicide in any way, children. Anyway, moving on. Her Constellation 2, for some reason I decided to forget writing down the name, but we'll go with it. Her Constellation, like I said, I did this quite late at night. My brain was half dead when I made this. That's why you can see loads of spelling mistakes like Champion, and I forgot to put the name here, but yeah, my brain was pretty much dead at the point of making this video. So, yeah, but I really wanted to make this video because I'm quite excited for the future of Genshin Impact. So, yeah. Her C2 is when Yoimiya scores a critical hit using her pyro damage, so basically in her pyro damage form, her pyro damage bonus is increased by 25% for 6 seconds. So, it just says pyro damage here, so it doesn't say she needs to be in her elemental skill form or a charged shot. It just says pyro damage. So it could be her elemental skill as well, or her elemental burst. So when she scores a critical hit with pyro damage, her pyro damage bonus is increased by 25% for 6 seconds, which is a very, very huge multiplier if you didn't know. For 6 seconds as well, that's a decent amount of time. So this Constellation 2 looks like a very, very good Constellation, especially because Yoimiya is going to be doing pyro damage most of the time if you're going to be building her as a support, as a pyro DPS, or as a charge shot DPS. So yeah, now her Constellation 4 is when Aura's Blaze explodes, her elemental skills cooldown is decreased by 1 second. So basically, when her Aura's Blaze explodes, so you need to switch over to another character in order to make Aura's Blaze explode. Her cooldown for her elemental skill is decreased by 1 second, which means 20 seconds could go down to 15 seconds, or maybe even 10 seconds if the numbers go up to that high, which can be really, really good, because that means you can literally just keep redoing this over and over and over again, and it'll just be a huge pyro AoE explosion fireworks show, basically. So, yeah. And her C6, the reason I didn't go through her C3 and her C5, by the way, is her C3 just increases the damage and level on her elemental skill, and her C5 does the same, but for her elemental burst. Now, her C6 is during her elemental skill, so her Taker Fire Dance, basically, when she's doing pyro damage with her normal attacks, she has a 40% chance to fire off an extra arrow after each attack, which deals 50% of the damage of the previous arrow. So what this means is, she now has a chance of firing a secondary arrow after an initial arrow. Now, if you didn't know, her first attack and her fourth attack already deal an extra, do an extra shot after the first one. So it won't apply to them, but that means that a tertiary arrow could fire after the first hit or the fourth hit, which does 50% of the damage here and here. Or, 50% of the damage here as a secondary arrow, and the same hit for the third attack and the fifth attack. And do you know what this means? This means if we go back to, which one was it? Yoimiya's passive, Tricks of the Troublemaker, she will be able to possibly stack this 10 times if she managed to land 10, 3 more hits with the 40% chance. It's a big if it does happen, but this would mean if you get her C6 and her first passive, you could probably proc this entire passive with just one combo string. You do realize how powerful that is, right? That is ridiculously powerful. So this could mean, if you do get her C6, Yoimiya could be an absolute firework beast when it comes to her DPS game. So, yeah, and if you guys want to stare at Yoimiya even more, I've got some pictures for her, again with the bandage aesthetic, which is very pleasing to the eye, including mine. So, yeah, I do like the way that they designed Yoimiya. I do love the offset, playful kind of nature with the ribbons as well. I love the way that they made her offset. And this is one of her idle animations. Again, if you want to see the full idle animation and Yoimiya's attacks, and, her playstyle, basically, I will definitely put a link in the description below. But anyway, guys, that has basically been it for Yoimiya's character profile breakdown. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. And, yeah, I will see you all very soon. I'm not ending the video just yet, though, because I do have some news. I'm also currently working on 2 more videos for 2 characters that are also coming out. In fact, they're pretty much done. So I'm going to see if I can try and get those videos out today. If they're not going to be out, if both of the next, including this video, I've got 2 other videos planned basically. So all 3 of the videos are done, including this one. So yeah. If I can, I will try and get all 3 videos out today. If I can't get all 3 videos out today, they'll definitely all be out by tomorrow. So, if you guys want to know what characters are coming, well, you probably already know if you stay up to date with Genshin Impact leaks. But if you already know, then still watch my interpretation of it or not. That's your choice. But if you guys are excited for those next 2 videos, definitely subscribe, notification bell, and leave a like on this video and share, because it does help me a lot. It gives it increases my morale, and I can make videos for you guys even more, and you guys get more enjoyment, I get more enjoyment. Win-win situation, and we all live happily ever after. Anyway, guys, I will leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have been Carvenus14 and still am. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.